In this one, you got 3 cans of OJ to 5 cans of water. This is the current ratio for question 22. And they say, hey, if you take an extra can of OJ and you dump it into the water, does the orange juice become stronger or does it become weaker? Well, all we're doing here is we're basically comparing two ratios. So the first ratio is 3 to 5. Now, if we imagine it as fractions, we would have something like looks like this in comparison to the new ratio, which would be 4 cans of OJ to 5 cans of water. So we're looking at that. We can clearly see that this is going to be a greater number. So if there's a greater number of orange juice that's put in there in comparison to the water, then we know that it's going to be stronger. Then the second one, it asks us for something different. It says that they're going to add an additional can of water. So if you add an additional can of water, the ratio changes now. So what you're doing is you're asking, well, which ratio is going to provide the stronger OJ? So you're comparing it to this here, a new one of 3 to 6. Well, if you imagine for a second that these are denominators, okay, your term 2's are denominators. If we take those and we actually find equivalent for them, and then we will be able to compare what this ratio is going to be. So we know that the lowest common multiple between 6 and 5 is going to be 30. So if we take this side and we multiply it by 5, we take this side and we multiply it by 6, we're going to end up with a ratio that looks like this. It can be 18 to 30 in comparison to a ratio of 15 to 30. And therefore, because these two are the same, we can see that there is more OJ in comparison to water in this particular ratio than there is in this one. So therefore, because this original is got more OJ in it, that one is going to be the stronger of the two. Thus, by adding more water to it, it is going to get weaker. Okay, this is one that kind of tries to trick you up a little bit with this wording. So St. Croix wins 3 games out of 4 that it plays. They play a total of 56 games. And but the question they're asking is how many losses? So students automatically go and say, oh, well, they'll figure out how many, they just calculate it out and they figure out how many wins, and they report on wins. But they're looking for losses. So in this case, we can say that a ratio of 3 to 4 is going to be equal to, well, let's find out the wins first. So, and then we can just, however wins there are compared to the number of games there are, the difference is going to be the losses. So we know they played a total of 56 games, we just don't know how many they won. So we find the magic number, so we match up our term 2's here, and we can see the magic number here is 14. Okay, so either 56 divided by 14 equals 4, or 4 times 14 equals 56. So therefore, we know that this number 3 times 14 is going to give us the number of wins, and therefore the number of wins that this team had was 42 wins. So in order to figure out the number of losses, well, we just simply take 56 games that they played, subtract the number of wins, and that's going to give us our total number of losses, which is 14. Okay? All right, now in this one here, they're just asking us to find the unit value of this. So in this case, we're dealing with 120 kilometers that they covered in 3 hours. So what we want to find out is how much in 1 hour. So if we imagine this as an algebra equation, it's going to say that, well, 120 is going to equal 3, and we'll use the letter H to represent hours. Okay, so we want to try and get H by itself. We simply divide both sides by 3. We can say that H equals 40. So therefore, the speed was 40 kilometers per hour. All right, now in this one here, we got 1,500 meters in 6 minutes. And we're just going to do the exact same thing. We're going to try and figure out how many meters is he covering in 1 minute. All right, so just basic algebra again. 1,500 equals 6m. and m stands for minute. Divide both sides by 6, divide by both sides by 6, those cancel out. We get a score of 250 equals m. So therefore, it's running at a pace of 250 meters per minute. You guys got to pick up his pace. All right. That covers up to 27. The remaining questions will be on the final video.